Okay, Final Fantasy Rebirth. Now, this game runs like dog shit on Windows, whether you have a handheld or an RTX 5070 desktop, which I have, or a 9070 desktop, which I have. It just runs really bad on Windows, and I think a big part of it is just Windows issues and also DRM. DRM is a big one. On Windows, it uses DRM, obviously, and the DRM is more impactful on Windows than it is on SteamOS. I have benchmarked this game on the same handheld, comparing them to each other with Windows versus SteamOS, and the SteamOS one can bring up the lows as high as 500%. The average usually comes up a bit too, but the lows usually come up a lot. That being said, this is running fairly well. I'm not getting any mega low hitches. You will always get lows that are not great if you play this game on Windows. However, I've not seen any drops, like true drops. Low with a little bit of scaling, and away you go. Right? We'll turn it up as well, but you can see it'll give you an easy 60 type experience. When you go to battles and that kind of stuff, it will drop down. New areas and that kind of stuff, it'll drop down. But having it on low does sort of mitigate some of that traversal stutter that you can get, that you will get in this game on Windows. That was actually not bad. Wow. The lows drop down, but we only hit 20. Sometimes I'm worried this thing will go down to like 8 or even 5. There it goes. That was actually way better than I thought it was going to be. So turn it up. Character model detail, that effects low, texture medium. So it's a mixed bag here, right? Mixed bag of settings. Some things low, some things medium, some high. Still a little bit of scaling, and I find this usually comes with a performance penalty I can deal with. Right? It just, the textures and that kind of stuff look better. It just looks better. But you can see there is a noticeable performance hit, right? Going from low was buttery smooth with decreased visuals, but buttery smooth. And then if you go onto this medium type mix with some high, some medium, it's a pretty noticeable drop, right? This game, the settings affected a lot, actually. So it's fine, right? Now we'll play with the settings, with the watts a little bit. So you're definitely going to play on low, but you do get actually a really decent experience on low. Let's bring down the scaling. Bring down the watts, I mean. And this is a tough scene. You can see the frames are low. 51. Not bad, honestly. 49, 48 for 25 watts. This is another type of game I'd be like, let's take this on a plane or on a train or in a meeting. I should be paying attention. I mean, what? I would never do that. 20. Wow, okay. It's actually going to be 42 on 20 watts. Put it on PC. That's way better than I thought, though. That is way better than I thought on 20 watts. I tested this game on Intel not that long ago, but it was the MSI Claw 8AI, which has the Lunar Lake, and it was not running very well. I mean, it was running, but it was not running very well. This is way better than I thought. Let's come down. Let's try like, I mean, 15 probably is going to be tough. I mean, even 15. So that's switch 2 watts, but it's not switch 2 performance. Now switch 2 has DLSS and it has other ways of getting the scaling and that kind of stuff up, but this is 15 watts and we're actually running much higher than the switch 2. We are on low and we do have a little bit of scaling, but it's not 33% scaling, and it's not there's no, I don't have frame, it has frame gen, but I don't have frame gen on. So there's no frame gen. I'm not at 33% scaling, right? I just playing at 15 watts. That's much, much better than I thought it would run. I thought this was going to be like an L, to be honest. And I'm going to be quite honest with you guys. I was very hesitant to keep this handheld without testing it. Well, before I got it, I was like, I don't know if I'm going to keep this one because this is a big game for me. I know there's a lot of like fanfare around the Final Fantasy games, that kind of stuff, but I grew up on the original of this game, and I was like a young teen when this game came out, the original, and it is a fundamentally important game for me to play. And if this game ran like dog water on this handheld, I probably, because I also have the AMD stuff coming, I probably would have been like, screw it, I'm just going to keep the AMD one, despite the fact that this has all these other benefits. But it is not letting me down. Yeah, that's so much better than I anticipated. I was actually worried. I've been putting off testing this game for like a while. Literally for a while. Because I was like, oh my god, if it runs, like, if I'm getting 30 FPS at full peak and it just runs like terribly and looks terribly, I'm not going to want to keep this handheld. So, all right, guys, we're back in business. I might actually be, we might be cooking here. We might be cooking. Screen space reflection, we can turn that off. We'll just give it like a very low setting to start here, and then we can turn it up as we go. So you can see there it's very low. We are not going to use FSR. So that's fine. So just low, just straight up low. Low native. Okay, so low native. It's pretty good actually. 1200p low native. You will get some frame drops in this engine when you first traverse an area, and then it goes away. So you saw there was a frame drop here. That's why I reset it. And then you do it again. It's just because I just loaded it. After you play for a minute, the frame drops will basically cease until you go to a new area. But look at that. That's a 60 experience. Do we have... No, we do not. So close to 60, I thought we had some kind of weird frame limit on. Look at that. A native 60 experience. That's a beautiful thing. We are on low, but it's also native. No scaling. I mean, if you're going to give me that, now we can scale. Wattage scale, sorry, before we do any actual scaling. Because I'm very happy with that performance, actually. Menu kills that, so we'll come in here. Let's see, so we're approximately 60-ish on 35. Let's check 30. I expect no performance drop, as per usual. It made no difference. Again, very GPU-heavy game. In GPU-heavy games, those extra watts don't do as much as a super CPU-heavy game, where you're really struggling to feed both. So down to 25 watts, and now we're at 58 is very good. Very good. It's basically 60 FPS. And look at the lows. Almost 40 for the 0.1% lows. It's like as the lowest common denominator is incredible. 20, I expect a big drop here. I mean, it's not as much as I thought. We're down 10%, not even 10%. We're down like 8%, maybe 9, dropping off from 35 down to 25, down to 20 watts. That's very good. What the hell? I mean, I know it's GPU heavy, but I didn't anticipate it run this well. I mean, it's a powerful handheld. I'm going to keep saying that and be like, I didn't know it would run so well. Even though I know it's a powerful chip, and I literally have 5 laptops with this chip in it on my desk. Literally. But I don't have laptops that I can test the watts as much. So I'm just like, it runs. 10 watts, and we're at 30. Not quite. Big draw distance, though. Let's see. Yeah, it's not 30. It's pretty close, though, for 10 watts. It's not quite possible. It's just not. It's just too few watts. So 10 watts is just not going to do it in this engine. So nah, it's not going to work for me. Let's try 13 watts. I don't want your stuff, buddy. So there you go. Look at that. So that's 13 watts now. Right, 13 watts, and with scaling we are now above 30. Let's turn that scaling down. I mean, it was really high. Let's go back to XeSS. FSR and XeSS did make a difference. But XeSS looks way better. So we're going to try that again. XeSS, I mean, balance, sure, doesn't really matter. So XeSS balanced. Yeah, and that is very low watts. That is 13 watts. 13 watts seems to be the sweet spot for like ultra low battery consumption, but acceptable performance. I mean, we're up to 42 over here, 45. Indoor areas will be even higher, right? This is why I stay here when I'm camping, and I have a save over here. Even that really bad draw distance, it's giving us above 35. And again, that little drop there was that traversal stutter stuff I was talking about. Look at that. It's doing a little bit of struggle at 13 watts, but yeah, I mean, come on. It's running really well. And we lost 3 frames? 3 frames? It's really running quite well. It's a little bit of a weird engine, right? So it may not behave the same as every other game that you're going to be testing. Just be aware of that. You know, every game runs different. If they run different engines, typically engines will behave like each other. So that's all running pretty well. I do want to turn on one more thing. We'll come up here. We'll just turn on the screen trace reflections. See how that looks. Last thing. Yeah, it's not making any difference. So it's going to run well. So you're going to get, if at peak watts, even 30 watts, you know, you're going to get a 50 to 60 FPS experience, depending on how the settings are. Roughly, very well playable. Scaling is not on. This is all native, and it's running very well. Now, I've had a bunch of people ask me to do Expedition 33. Again, another game that I'm not far in. This is a game that I actually legitimately want to play. One day I will. So a quick preset here. I guess medium. Yeah, we'll go medium. XeSS Ultra Quality Plus means like almost no scaling, so that's interesting. We're going to start with native though. So like that there. XeSS frame. Oh, that's why it's weird. Okay, so frame gen off to start. Okay, that's bringing down the frames to a more acceptable level. Max FPS. So we're at medium. Yeah, medium across the road, across the way, and no scaling. So let's see what we get. Yeah, that's okay. Medium, 40 FPS. This game is, despite the fact being an RPG and a turn-based RPG, you kind of actually do want a reasonable FPS. You don't need 150, but there is actually like quick action events in combat as like a baseline. So I feel like if you have really bad frame rates, you would suck at that, or I would. But I don't know if you need like super high frame rates. And I'm not super far in this game, obviously. This is a game that I like. Apparently, it's like the best game ever made, or whatever people say. Best game in a long time is what they actually say. And I want to play. Okay, big drop here. So you're going to want to do something. Either turn it down or probably just throw in some scaling. Because we're getting 30, but it just feels a little weird. This is like Nintendo Switch level. It looks good, though. To be honest, it looks quite crisp. But let's come in here. We'll turn on some scaling. I think that'll do the trick here. So scaling type, XeSS on. I mean, balance is probably fine. If it's implemented well, it'll look okay. It does soften stuff slightly, a little bit. It's not bad. XeSS is generally pretty good. There's good stability and stuff in the fine lines. And it's a pretty substantial jump in performance. We're doubling our frames here without frame gen. So we're on medium with balanced scaling. It's a big jump. I'm not very far, obviously, but I suspect it's a pretty hard area to run. It runs a little weird. He runs a meme run. Why does he run like that? It's funny. I think you could shoot, right? I thought you could shoot. Okay. That's running okay. Let's try a little bit of wattage scaling here. So, as expected, that didn't make any difference. 25. It's not really doing... There we go. They went down a little bit. So 30 to 35 didn't really do anything. Down to 25 did drop about 5 FPS. So that's about 10%, which is pretty good for 10 watts. Let's come down a little bit further here. 50 FPS at 20 watts is pretty good. Let's come down to 15. That's Steam Deck level watts and switch to. Yeah, so I mean, that's giving you what people would consider like, well, it's better than a Switch 2. Most Switch 2 games run at 30. They try to maintain consistency though. This is getting worse lows. So I'd probably say you could throw in some more scaling or turn it down, which I'm going to do, and see if that can get us, you know, very low wattage performance. So we'll come in here, we'll leave that unbalanced for now. But I'm just going to come down here and just go quick preset and go low. I just want to see how that affects everything. If it gives us a little bit more smoothness on this very low watt. It does actually. It looks still pretty good though. So yeah, maybe if you want to be on 15 watts, like I am here, 15 watts, I would probably put it to low. Still looks good, honestly. And you're getting 45 FPS, so almost 50 at times. There's some drops there in that, but yeah, frame hitch there. Let's reset it again. Do that again. That might have just been like a texture loading thing. Yeah, I mean, it's running pretty good. For 15 watts, what more could you ask for? It's actually running really well, to be honest, for 50. Like, you're on a plane, you're on a I was gonna say train, but yeah, plane, train, automobile, you're in a meeting, you're waiting to get your car brakes done or whatever it is you're doing. And yeah, you can get quite a bit of gameplay out of 15 watts. And yeah, it's running really well actually. I'm going to turn it back up one more time. I'll just put it back up to max just to kind of see where we're at with this lower setting now, and then we'll fit, and then that can be enough for this video. Yeah, huge frame increase. I'd probably leave it on low. You maybe can go through and tweak some, like some low, some medium, but it's just such a performance jump here on medium. Sorry, on low over medium. It really is a big jump. We can try some frame gen, I suppose. We have such a high base frame rate that I'm not really against it. Let's just try that. So now frame gen. We had such a high base frame rate that I'm actually not against the frame gen usage. It'll feel smooth, and it seems to. Yeah, it feels good. Yeah, probably. Honestly, I'd probably play it like this. Throw it on low and just throw on some scaling, and probably frame gen in this game. This is a case where it just doesn't seem to be a problem. Hey, look at him. He's all healed now. And his clothing became clean. Gustav. He has a big head. His head to body ratio is promoting large head. How about her? Does she have a large head? Whatever your name is. You have kind of a large head too. But he has a really big head. Anyways, that's enough.